on broadcast. There we go. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Richard, and this is Spelljamming Troika, in which we use Daniel Sell's great Troika game to explore the old AD&D setting of Spelljammer. I have a great crew of players here for our final session tonight, and I will introduce them in a moment. This is a Gauntlet Hangouts game, and we subscribe to the Gauntlet Hangouts inclusivity policy, including the use of safety tools during play. The safety tool we'll be using tonight is the X card, which you can Google online. And I find that for benefit of the players, the most effective way to use the X card is simply to say X card, and not. I find that a lot of things people do to try to make it a little more subtle can sometimes be a little too subtle if people are not watching the correct window at the right time. So I think just saying X card will accomplish things, and then we'll move on from there. I am going to go from the longest standing players in this 5-part series to the newest player. And I think for the longest standing player, I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So we're going to start with Jesse Abelman. Jesse, would you introduce us to Carl?
Sure. I'm Jesse. I'm playing Carl, the sentient bronze golem. He is quite tall, with sort of spindly arms, and from it looks like he's wearing a coat. But when you get a closer look, you see that the coat is just his sort of part of his cast bronze body, and like it doesn't open and close. There's nothing underneath it except for more bronze body. His facial features are weathered. It's almost as if he doesn't have a face. There's like a small bump for a nose. You can see spaces like where eyes and lips were cast in when he was created, but over time that has worn down and it's very smooth. He was a porter at the docks until one day he gained sentience, and then he sort of tried to seek out the mystery of both his own sentience and what that is more broadly, and that led him to the Library of the Spheres, where he has been first as kind of a guard, and then more recently as a artifact collector in the crew of the Heartless Bastard.
I guess we have Dylan, who's going to be playing Gunny. Dylan, what's your introduce?
Yeah, sure. So Gloria Gunny von Hess, better known as Gunny, she is a GIF, which is basically she's a hippo person with a blunderbuss. She wears a kind of a colonial imperial military style uniform. She retained the rank of gunnery sergeant, serving in the military as all GIF do. But she's completed the core of her military service, and she's now like a retired gunny, and having done her last assignment being security at the Library of Spheres, her retirement career is now adventuring with the Heartless Bastard and the crew of the Heartless Bastard. And she's her official job on the Heartless Bastard is the gunner. Ship's gunner, but that's Gunny.
Thanks, Dylan. Morel is a halfling who hunts Nyogi. Stephen, why don't you introduce to Morel?
Yes, Morel is a halfling from a planet that was enslaved by the Nyogi. They successfully rebelled against them, and since then there has been a tradition of some of the most proficient warriors of their society roaming outside their home planet, seeking out the Nyogi and fighting against them. Morel Farstrider is one of these Neogi stalkers. He recently heard about the crew of the Heartless Bastard encountering some apparently self-aware Neogi robots, and that interested him enough for him to seek them out and get caught up in their current adventure. Physically, he's a little bigger than the average halfling. He wears nondescript gray clothing, and he has a lot of scars. Some from edged weapons, some from burns. Mostly what looks like animal bites. His hair is short. Looks like it was chopped off with an axe, which it was. He does not spend a lot of time on personal grooming, and he normally carries an axe, but he currently does not have it because he left it behind in the last session as part of their current predicament.
And finally, a Scrow, played by Maria. Maria, would you introduce us?
So, Lolteikti, the Renegade Scroll, or a Renegade Scroll, they are, like you said, a Scroll, which I guess it's like orcs. They're basically orcs. And because of the background, they kind of given up fighting, not really. Because they still carry around a big chainsaw that they insist that is a glaive. So, because hey, glaives are fair, right? Chainsaws are not. But it's a glaive, totally, not a chainsaw at all.
Right. You know, sometimes your glaive may just have a little bit of rotating blades on it.
I know, right?
Gnomes can put that together for you if you're nice to them.
Yeah, and so they're pretty simple. It's just fighting, but they try not to, even though fighting is pretty much the only thing they're good at.
Nice. All right. Carl and Gunny. Could you walk us through kind of what happened on the Heartless Bastards? The Heartless Bastard, I might mention, is a crew that works for the Library of Spheres, gathering relics, artifacts, and information for the library, which is run by a big information wants to be free, unless it's dangerous information, organization. And it's the library is on a Spelljammer city known as the Rock of Brawl. Could you summarize for us sort of what happened during the first couple of sessions as you guys went to search for the Deck of the Spheres?
So I think we started out by going to, what was it? Anadia or something? Or
Anadia?
I don't remember. Yeah, some planet to retrieve a deck of cards. And we encountered, there was a Neogi, it was in a crashed Neogi ship, and there was a Neogi, like spider bot, like sentient mechanical spider creature that Carl ripped his legs off and kept him as a friend. Let's see, and then they battled a, I guess what we now come to conclude is an undead Neogi that was when we that was aboard the ship when we recovered the cards, and returned to the library. Went to what was the name of the bar?
The Laughing Beholder.
That's right, the Laughing Beholder. Where we encountered a different kind of like spider bot thing. I believe this was one of the silver ones versus the bronze ones that we've encountered. So that we encountered first, and it attached itself to Louis the Beholder's head. And I think we defeated that one, and The captain was missing. Never met us at the bar. We went to the docks to look for him, encountered some of the bronze spider bots on our ship. Then we went to the library and we encountered Vampire Scrow, which we think was, and I don't remember if it was actually, I think it was confirmed that it was Sregar Hasir, and possibly the location of his pirate base. And then I think we're on to last week, which I wasn't here for.
Right. Yeah, we picked up just the one quick detail I think you missed. We picked up the star charts along with the deck of the spheres.
That's right.
In the Yogi ship, and those charts are what Trigger Hasir and the robot spiders who seem to be in league were looking for when they came into the brawl, and they have this location on them, which we have surmised is his base, but it may very well be, which we have surmised is his base, but he did not confirm.
Moral, anything you'd like to add to that summary so far before we get to what happened last week?
No, that seems adequate, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Carl and Moral, could you summarize what happened last week?
Well, after leaving the library, we split up, which was entirely for logical reasons and not because most of the players were missing. And Corral and I went to Sregar Hasir's ship. We were going to investigate it and hopefully find evidence of wrongdoing, which we could take to the dock master, possibly sabotage it. We did manage to sneak on board, and sneaking around the ship, I got a fair distance undetected. I was detected in the room where they were keeping Captain Mateus prisoner. And since I was alone against two vampires, I jammed the door shut with my axe and ran. Corel stayed behind to fight them off while I went to persuade the harbor master to search the ship. He was eventually overcome and hypnotized by the Nyogi and sent to capture me. I got to the harbor master. I was trying to persuade him to search the ship. I reported that they had the kidnapped Captain Mateus on board, which seemed like enough of a crime for them to investigate. Merely being vampires is not enough to investigate, but it is enough to prejudice them against the ship. The harbor master had pretty much decided, okay, I'm going to get some people together and see what's going on, when a mob from the ship arrived at the harbor master's office, including Corral, who I technically don't know yet is hypnotized, although since I am an experienced Nyogi stalker, it's possible that I will recognize the signs of possession.
If only I were not a featureless bronze golem.
If only, but...
So a couple of questions for let me look. Take Giddy. Am I saying that correct, Maria?
I'll take D. Yes, I'll take D.
I'll take D.
I'll take D.
All of our Scro jokes are going to be completely lost on the audience at home. I will have to put the Scro names into the YouTube summary. Well, Digby, why have you done work, and in what capacity for the Library of the Spheres, do you think?
So library spheres is the place to gather information, right?
They keep a vast library of books, catalogs. They have, you know, lots of very dangerous things. So they do need security. They need exploration. They need people to handle retrievals.
All
People
right.
to prevent people retrieving things from them.
Yeah, I think I'm just I was wondering at one point, found a library. They hired me to do something and I'm working for them. I'm just not sure what they hired me for because I know nothing about them other than information.
What were you looking for when you went to the library the first time that or the time they offered you a job?
I think I was looking for information on, let me look at the ancient goddess that apparently turned me into a wandering scroll instead of a regular scroll.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Once I find the thing back where it went. Yes. Yeah, but like, yeah, that's, excuse me, that's the gist of it. Apparently this goddess made me peaceful and I went to look for information on who she is.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a great reason. And what did the library initially hire? Your first time you worked for the library, what did they hire you to guard?
Do you want a specific name, like an artifact name?
An artifact, a person.
Let's say Broheimer is a person.
Okay. Put that in the chat so we don't forget it.
Broheimer.
Broheimer. All right. All right.
Yeah. Broheimer, or however you say that. I'm not sure why. I don't ask questions, so that's why I'm like, I don't know things because I don't ask. They don't tell me.
Gunny, you are a former security guard for the library turned gunner for the Heartless Bastard. An upper level security guard. What's the reason you kept hiring Lultekidi after the job with Broheimer?
I think we had we just had some slots to fill with. We often used contractors for personal security, like so to provide security for individuals and others that some of the higher ups that work at the library.
Nice. Okay. All right. If there's anything else I need to... So I think we're going to set the scene this way, and I kind of wish I had a good mapping tool, but there's not one that sort of fits my very, very limited online drawing skills. People have suggested them to me, not being completely aware of how poor my online drawing skills actually are. So we're gonna try to fake it. Carl Morrill, you're at the Harbor Master's office. Gunny, you know they were going to the Harbor Master's office since you were with them when things went down from the library and they decided to split off and go do some inquiries. Or you know they were going to the docks. So you're heading this way, I assume. Does that sound fair? About right?
Yeah, I'm heading to meet up with them.
And I'm going to suggest you've gotten in touch with one of your favorite contractors to work with, Loktekiri. But as the two of you sort of round the corner and come to like the main entrance to the docks where the harbor master's office is, you see their ship, the Wasp, and I will get this over with early, where I show off the Wasp to the folks at home. Wait, it's here. There we go. There is the Wasp. Let me stretch that out for a little bit. It is a ship with six legs and a tail with which it lands. Gigantic astral sails coming off the side, and then a big weapon top deck. A crew deck and a lower area for the hold. We will stop sharing now. You see the Wasp sort of hovering, on the very distinguished looking in this part of it's one of the bigger it's one of the more distinguished looking of the big ships in this section. So as you sort of clear the harbor, clear the block leading up to the harbor master's office, you can sort of see the Wasp sort of at its dock, not too far away. And you hear a commotion going on in the harbor master's office. And Carl, you came in just before or with the Scro last time?
I actually was behind. I was right behind them, because they had run after Morel, and I had they hadn't thought I was a threat, and then I went after that one guy who stuck around, I think, and then this Nyogi, I was hanging off the edge of the platform, the gangplank, and this Nyogi wiped my brain and sent me off to after Morel. So I was actually, I think, right behind them.
All right. So Gunny, you hear a commotion going on inside the harbor master's office as you're walking towards it. And then you see five Scro walking up. And they have sort of bland, unmarked sort of sailor's dress. They're just wearing dark clothes, some light leathers, a little more put together than you might think of as a you'd expect, ravaging Scro or pirate Scro to normally wear. And they are walking briskly and assertively towards the door of the harbor master's office, and just behind them you see a bronze golem who's strikingly like Karel. Lotekadi.
All right. Yes.
You know, you're walking up there with Gunny, and you notice, I think, It's weird, but you'd almost swear these Skrull are not breathing.
Not breathing as in breath, or not breathing as in fucking?
Not breathing.
Okay.
The
I
other
don't
one
understand.
too.
Yeah,
Well, that too.
they're also not having sex.
Okay.
But they are not breathing. They are not
All right.
inhaling, exhaling as they walk assertively. Um,
I look at Gunny and say, those are.
and they storm into the harbor's master's office. And Carl, you're right behind them. Where are you doing?
I mean, I think I am. I've been thinking about this all week. Is the truth? Like, I think I'm trying to think about what this mind control is and how aware of myself I am in this moment. And I think the way it works is that I have control of my limbs, I have control of my body, but I want to do what the Yogi told me to do. Like this is, and so I'm like going about my business. But there's like a super ego kind of little piece hiding, right? That's been overwhelmed by this desire to. I think I try to remember what the exact order was. It was something like attack Morel or kill Morel or something like that. Get Morel, but there's like a little voice in the back of my head, sort of like watching with horror as most of myself goes and does something that normally I would never want to do.
And you can make a roll with skill just to see how much you notice the fact that Gunny and
Got it. So is that plus skill or
actually no, they're not trying to sneak up or anything from and Dylan, unless you're telling me you're trying to sneak up. But I was thinking you're just kind of walking down the street. You're not really trying to like lurk along. As we set this up, unless that would be something that Gunny would try to do.
I think we might more or less try to look like, upon seeing the Skrull crew, probably make ourselves a little more inconspicuous.
I have sneak. I can sneak.
Yeah, I think what I'm just going to have you do, Carl, is just roll under your 6.
Got it. And it's a 5.
5. Okay.
Do we use the roll for your party in the chat, or what are we using?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay. I've been playing Black Hack and using my home dice, but not jamming. So I'm gonna reset. Right. And I was bad, Dylan. I did not reset the token bag. And Maria, what color are you? As far as, in fact, I'm probably going to just use orange for you.
All right. My character sheet is red, but if you're already using red.
Oh no, red was Zentaria Villalobos, and we can use red.
Okay, then that's perfect.
All right. So when we finally get there, I believe that.
And what's the roll for your party then?
Oh, sorry.
Or what are we using for die rollers and stuff?
Yeah, that's. Sorry, I'm just cleaning. I was cleaning something up.
Okay.
Because we have the funky initiative system.
Yeah. Thank you.
One sec. So, yep. Thanks, Stephen. So I believe, since we are about to get there pretty quickly, Carla's green. Bunny is blue. Am I correct there?
Yep.
Otakity is red. And Moral, you'll be orange.
Okay.
All right.
So we don't need the purple ones.
Right. Do not need the purple ones. Or was that your original color, Dylan? Anyway.
No, I think I was always blue.
Okay.
Yeah, you were always blue.
All right. I will appoint someone to the office of Tile Shuffler. As soon as I get these all over here. And I'm going to flip those baby blues. I'm not saying there's going to be a fight. I just want to be ready for that initiative.
All right.
So Gunny and Carl, you see Gunny and Lotekidi, and you know Lotekidi. They have worked for Lotekidi has worked for the library before and has knows the crew of the Heavenly or the Heartless Bastard. And you all see each other, and I think you see each other seeing each other. Carl, what do you do at this point? You still have that high drive impulse to stop Morel.
I completely ignore them.
Okay,
I just make a beeline for the harbor master
office right after the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys see Carl walk right past you, not even acknowledge you, right into the harbor's master's office. Well, Tekadi and Gunny, what are you doing?
So to us, I mean, they're all. It looks like they're all together.
Yeah, or at least Carl was following. What do you do?
I think we should go up to like the outside of the harbor master's office and kind of like listen in, see what's going on.
All right. I agree. I nod. I'm gonna be as discreet as I can in doing so.
All right. Well, take a D. I'm going to have you just roll. You're going to roll and add your whole stealth bonus. You add your full skill plus advanced skill.
Yeah.
Where it says total.
Yeah. I know how Troika works, and I have to roll under, right?
You're gonna roll and add because this is.
Roll and add. Okay.
This will be opposed.
This is bad because this is Snake Eyes.
I was gonna say it wouldn't be hard for you, but I think you get there and you see that they have
9. Yeah.
One of them turns around and puts a hand against Carl's chest and looks at you and says, "Harbor Master's office is closed."
So,
Moral, you hear Harbor Master's office is closed.
Was that directed at both of us or just at me?
Both of you.
Got it.
Because I think he kind of catches you inside the door, and then he just walks out and does sort of a sweep. A little take it easy. Just as you're sort of getting in position to sort of get close, he just does kind of a sweep, real kind of, whips his head from side to side, and he sees you sort of positioning yourself where you can listen in. And now the two of you can definitely see each other. Switching over to Moral.
and I mark. Let me get the rules straight. I mark Sneak because I used it, right?
No, you'll milk it when you succeed.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Just making sure.
Okay. Yeah. No, I run so many systems I forget which one does what. So, Moral, you're talking to the harbor master deputy who's here on duty. Who was, yes, were you very excited to see a vampire? Was it your first time seeing a vampire? It's unfortunate they're allowed to just run free, yes, but they are, and there's a kidnapping, but things are awkward. You suspect bribes may have been placed. Also, that this guy may also be scared of vampires. When a whole bunch of scrow in dark clothes and leathers walk into the office behind you. One of them stands at the door, and 4 come up behind you. And they ignore the harbor master, who just starts mouthing words without really making any sounds while looking over you, Morel. And you can't necessarily, without even turning around, you can feel them look sort of down at you. And they're like, "Are you going to come quietly, or is it going to make it? Are you going to make it interesting?"
Okay. Is it just me and the deputy harbor master in there? Were there any other people in there?
I don't think so.
Okay. I am going to grab a chair and try to clear a path to the door. Get out of there with the harbor master. So I'm just swinging at them, trying to shove past them.
Nice. So I think there's a whole lot of things that are probably going to happen at once. I'm going to roll for initiative. I'm going to pull tokens for initiative. And we're going to start with Gunny. You hear Moral's voice from inside this office, Gunny. Shortly after they say something muffled, threatening, not directed at you. And then I think you hear something from Moral, and you hear the sound of furniture being grabbed and swung, which your keen gift senses are trained by numerous ages of bar fights to know when something is about to break out, and may not worry about it when it happens in a bar, but when it happens in a harbor master office, that is a violation of some things that every gift stands for. What do you do, Gunny?
So I don't have a line of sight. I'm just hearing. Is that correct?
I think you've rounded the corner of the harbor master's office now that Liltakity has sort of been called out. You can definitely see the door. It's open. There's a guy sort of standing in it. Maybe 4 guys inside. Karel and Liltakity are not far from the door.
All right.
It's not like the public front of the harbor's master's office is a huge space. I mean, it's probably attached to a much larger building.
I lost the connection for a moment, but
I was going to say the office itself, or at least the public face of the office, is not probably a huge space. There's probably like a lot going on once you get past the main thing, but the place where you'd actually sit and talk to the deputy on duty is not that big.
So I think I'm going to point my blunderbuss at the guys, the one standing in the door, and order him to get on the ground.
So, Gunny, just roll straight up your skill.
Okay.
Let's roll it 2d6 under.
Three.
Wow. He cries out trouble and he sort of dives for the ground. What do you do, Gunny? Anything else? Or do you want to see? You want to see what happens next?
I think. So he basically dives to the ground to kind of obeying the order.
Kind of half obeying the order.
Okay. I'll run up and restrain him with.
With your wrestling.
Yeah, or I'm trying to think. I guess I wouldn't carry any handcuffs or something like that. But is there like I use my decorative uniform sash to bind his hands and feet. Dog tie him.
Roll and add your wrestling.
Okay. So that's 7 plus 1 or plus 6. So it's a 13.
Okay, you've got him pinned. You've got your sash off, and you've got him pinned, not tied yet. He rolled an 11. Because as everybody who's been watching at home knows, my monsters cannot roll for crap. And I'm going to move on with initiative to Liltekity. You see Gunny start to sort of arrest or take custody of one of the scrow at the door.
All right.
Who and it may be just the innate scrow authoritarianism that when somebody walks up and yells a command, the scrow is as big as Gunny, like you.
All right.
Big
So,
and imposing.
I'm gonna assume the fact that Gunny is wrestling a scroll means that it's the time for combat.
Okay.
So, are they still in the doorway?
They're sort of tussling in the doorway, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Until. So I'm gonna shove past them and get inside the office.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do you want me to test strength or something?
No, let's get you in that office.
All right. So I'm in the office, and what do I see? The scene with Morel and the deputy and or Squirrel.
Morel, correct me if I'm not visualizing this correct. You see, Morel has grabbed a chair and is sort of wielding it to try to against these 4 scrow who are sort of forming like a semicircle around him and the young deputy harbor master.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah, I'm trying to fend them off, and I'm trying to force a path outside, because I figure if we get out of the office, we've got a better chance of both of getting help and just be in a better position for fighting.
Right.
Okay, so I take my glaive and I pointing menacingly at one of the scroll or at all of the scrolls that are inside and basically bark out. Out! Everyone out! Everyone out! Do you want me to test something?
Yeah, one sec.
All right.
I'm bumping back and forth between sheets. Let's see.
I don't have an intimidate or order around anything.
So yeah, so just try to roll into your skill.
Under skill. Which I don't.
All right. They look unimpressed, and one of them starts to reach for Moral while one of them sort of like a couple of them try to come towards you. What else would you like to do?
Okay, since that didn't work, I'm gonna stab one of them with my glaive.
All right. For
So-
those not viewing at home, Locati's glaive is serrated and has these awesome spikes on the handle. Almost like a chainsaw.
Totally not a chainsaw though.
Totally not a chainsaw. It's a gnomish glaive.
Right. So you want me to roll and then add my glaive fighting?
Yes.
All right. So reroll. Oh boy, that's an 18.
Nice. That is not an 18 because my bad guys roll for shit. Locate the D. Roll for damage. I went ahead and put the weapon chart on.
All right.
So you just roll your pole arm.
Yeah.
And you can press your luck to up that damage by 2 once you see what you get.
And it's basically roll a d6 and add nothing, or add? Is there something I add?
You'll just roll a d6.
All right. And that is a 5.
It's a 5. You can get that to a 7 if you want to press your luck, or otherwise I can just apply the 5.
I mean 5 equals to a 12, so I'm fine with that.
Nice. All right.
And I want to save my luck for other shit. So.
All right. You don't get the. What were you going for? Like, what vital organ were you targeting with that glaive?
Heart.
Heart. Yeah, you don't get the heart. You do get the side of the rib cage though.
All right.
And it opens a wound. The wound does not bleed.
That is not how scrolls work, or how scroll works.
It's not how any scroll you met before work.
All right.
And it just smiles at you. It looks at the wound with you and then meets your eyes and smiles. Let's see who's next.
Purple.
Purple is the young harbor master kid.
Do we have an end of round? Out of curiosity.
Yes.
Okay.
The end of round is yellow.
Okay.
The harbor master kid curls into a ball and tries to climb towards one of the desks, or underneath one of the desks, kind of doing the opposite of what you wanted him to do, Moral. And he starts weakly going like, everybody out of the office. Just everybody get out of the office. Carl. The scrow who was trying to stop you is being wrestled to the ground by Gunny. You've got 4 scrolls, Scrow, Moral, Lokekity, and some random human in official looking garb that says Deputy Harbor Master inside the office. What are you doing?
So just to clarify some of the pictures, so the scrow who had put his hand on my chest to sort of like stop me from coming in, is that one of the ones that has been disabled, or is like
that's one of the ones who's on the ground with Gunny?
That's the one on the ground with Gunny. So there's I'm basically unimpeded.
Yeah, I mean you have to take a big step to get over Gunny and this scrow that are tussling in the doorway.
I mean, I'm making a beeline for Morel. I'm just gonna try to grab him.
All right. I'm going to compare some stuff really quick.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a contested wrestling roll.
That is indeed a contested wrestling roll. Why don't both of you pull that off?
Also, if at any point I can attempt to resist this compulsion, I would like to do so. But I'm also happy to play this out a little bit farther before we get there.
Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna have you at least grab first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not great. That is a 12.
And that is I believe a 617, but let me just quickly double check to make sure my memory is right. Yeah, 17. No, 16, sorry.
At this point, Carl, why don't you just test your skill?
Okay. I just hit it at 6.
Nice. Okay, so you grab Morel, and all of a sudden you're like, why am I doing this?
Right. So I think just what happens in my head is that like my desire to take Morel to the Niyogi is like has disappeared, and
right.
the screaming voice inside of my bronze cast head sort of breathes, and I just sort of set Carl back down again. Not Carl. I set Morel back down again, and say briefly, "Sorry."
I think you grab
turn around to face the Scrow.
You intend to set him down. Let's have you hold him up, just for dramatic combat battle possibilities at the end of your turn. Does that sound fair?
I'm holding him up. I say sorry, but I don't set him down yet. That's
you are not restraining him in any sort of meaningful way at this point.
Got it. And I do apologize.
And the Scrow next to you, Carl, says, "What? Wait a minute. We don't like a bunch of porters coming in, mindless porters coming in, and just taking the stuff that we intended to take ourselves. We're filing a complaint with the harbor master." He looks at the kid on the ground, who kind of whimpers very, very loudly and terrified, and starts rustling around, like reaching on top of the desk, trying to grab the complaint book without actually getting out from under the desk. And then he just grabs his mace and comes at you, Carell. And this is neither the captain nor the first mate. Carell, why don't you roll with your fighting skill?
Is that with fist fighting?
Yep.
Okay.
Or halfling fighting if you want to swing Morel around since you have him grabbed.
Fist fighting is a stronger skill for me, I think. So that is 6 plus not 15. No, 14. I'm terrible at math.
All right. Yeah, you still beat him by 1. I was excited. I thought I might beat you once, but no. Carl, once you roll for your damage, because as the viewers at home should know, when you win a contest in combat in Troika, you are the person who rolls damage.
3. That's 4 damage, and I am shit out of luck, and so will not be pushing it.
Okay. That's right. You guys haven't had a rest in several sessions. All right. You don't seem to hurt him bad, but you surprise him a good bit. And then I think it's back around to the kid with the harbor master. Oh, man. He just starts screaming, "I can't find the complaint forms. I can't find the complaint forms." And he sort of overturns his desk and tries to crawl further back into the private portion of the office. And then we come back around to Carl.
Hey, that means it is time for me to punch somebody. Ideally, the nearest non-friendly scrow, the nearest vampire scrow.
They're not dressed in nearly as sexy armor as I think Loctecades is.
Well, the description of the background it says that I kept my sexy armor, so I'm guessing all the scroll have sexy armor.
It is not nearly as good looking. It's like they've gone to some sort of like how not to be scroll school. I mean, you sort of had a religious conversion. They are much more like trim cut and organized, and way less wild in their fashion choices than traditional sexy scroll armor.
This is heresy, even to me, a renegade scroll. I must destroy them all.
Yes. It's just as if becoming a vampire has made them more tidy and clean cut.
Interesting.
Also, it's not much armor. It's mainly black clothes with some leathers.
Oh, and by the way, my glaive ignores 1 point of armor for being a glaive.
Right. Okay.
So does my mace, by the way. By my mace, I mean my fists.
So it was the full 12 damage.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Just making sure.
It's also, as a full GM confession, I always forget that my bad guys have armor.
Okay, so it didn't matter anyway.
Not in other games where they have damage reduction, but for some reason in Troika.
Because it's not direct, I guess, because it reduces the die amount, not the damage amount.
Right. So, why don't you roll for that, there, Carl? And what do you say as you punch this scroll in the face?
I don't say anything.
You can go for something, whatever you want.
Yeah, Carl is not like witty. He, like I said, that's 16. Carl's very sort of goal oriented, and if he wants to punch you, he's just gonna punch you silently. And then if he wants to ask you some questions, maybe he'll ask you some questions. But those are his two.
Carl, we've got a tie, and I'm going to run this tie in kind of an old school D&D way rather than the official Troika way.
I mean, I can try my luck.
Can you?
I have two, so in theory, I'm going to lose. But
see if you get snake eyes. When the one time in the world you want snake eyes.
So I'm saying, unless you would prefer to do it the other way, but I'm open to taking the risk if you're
about to connect with him just as he is about to bite down on your fist.
Are vampires, stone golems, or bronze golems a thing?
He has steel teeth.
Anyways, yeah, so that was a 6. So certainly did not succeed. And now I actually am literally shit out of luck.
You were down to 1.
Yep.
Luckily, this is not one of those games where being down on your luck means that terrible things happen. Other than you just can't use it. It's just a tool you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you roll your damage?
Well, I think no one rolls because it's not like PvP.
I'm gonna do it kind of old school D&D where
okay.
Tie.
That's 3.
What does 3 mean for you?
4 damage.
4 damage. His big steel teeth land right in the joints of your elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's less that they pierce and more that they just pull things away.
Mm-hmm.
So he sort of lets you pierce him, and then it hit him, and then he sort of rolls with it and sort of like gets your elbow in his mouth as your
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of like on your elbow. You will have a hard time hitting him, and you're going to take 10 damage.
All right. So, does my 3 armor reduce the damage, or does it
Yes,
reduce
it
the
does.
roll? Right, but does it reduce the?
It reduces the roll. Thank you. I kept forgetting that.
I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking.
Maria, thank you for that mechanical correction.
Yes.
It's down to 4.
Down to 4 damage. Excellent.
That is better than 10, yes.
Yes, that is much better than 10. Maria, I've only gotten to hit him once. So.
Oh, I'm not down to 4. I am down 4, which puts me at 19.
Yeah. I kept trying to get you down to 4.
I lost a lot of health in the first session.
That's true. And I think we are over to
Any vampire scroll, basically.
yeah. I think we've got 3 that are sort of engaged. One with Lotekadi, one with Carl, one with Gunny,
And one that's not doing anything.
and then we have 2 that are not doing anything. And I think one of those is going to lunge themselves at Moral and try to do what Carl was about to do and sort of carry you off, Moral. Why don't we do an opposed wrestling roll?
I think the most hilarious thing about the characters is that the Scrow has the least stamina, even less than the Halfling in this game.
The pacifist Scrow.
I know, right?
That's a 12.
That is a 9. So you are able to get away. You may make an attack, or let's say you can trip them.
I will trip them.
Okay. So they try to grab you. You push their feet away. I assume that you set Moral down that second time you went, Carl.
Yeah, not so much set me down as kind of dropped me.
Oh yeah. He let you go.
Right.
But you landed cat-like, if confused.
The way halflings.
Yes. I mean, if cats stand flat on their face,
and we hit the end of the round. I'm going to flip all the tokens back over. If somebody can shuffle them for me.
All right.
I find that after I shuffle them, I tend to know where things are.
Trick is that whoever shuffles them also can hide them from the other players. So they would be the only ones who would know where everything is.
Right.
So I would like to shuffle.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Because I like shuffling these things for some reason. And yeah.
And then just flip them.
Yeah, I'm trying to flip the light blue ones, which are impossible to see. Right, and then I will like to touch all of them. Move these. Oh, and this one. Hide selected. And for some reason, oh, there we go. All right. That's the sad thing about rolling Troika. running Troika online. It's that we don't know where, or it's time consuming. Also, the pictures give me the.
Said that we try to stop at 10. We actually try to stop between 10:30 and 11. I apologize for that that misstatement. But if people were looking at the clock going like, oh my God, there's still a little time left.
Yeah. All right. It should be shuffled now.
Thank you. And first up,
Moral.
Moral. And I'm going to get rid of these Beholder pieces of art, as awesome as they are from our.
Yeah, it makes it harder for me to shuffle things around because there's less space. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to try to trip another one of the Scrow.
Let's do a wrestling off.
Yeah.
And they have got a 14.
I've got a 13.
Yeah, they're going to come at you, Morel. Not well. Do you have armor on?
Yeah, I've got moderate armor.
I think they reduced that. You're going to take a total of 4 damage.
Okay.
And then that one's going to try to grab you. So let's do wrestling off again.
Okay.
This time you need to beat an 11.
$13.
Nice. All right. Trip it or...
Yeah, I'm going to trip it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got 2 on the ground. When you begin to hear loud booming noises and screams from outside, and I believe that is
The deputy.
Harbor Master Kid. Stands up and looks out the window. And he starts screaming, they don't have clearance to take off. They don't have clearance to take off. And Moral, what else would you like to do?
I guess I'll stick with my plan. I'm going to try to knock down another one of them.
You've got the 2 that were sort of free. Which it'd be Gunny has 1 on the ground. You've got 2 knocked over. So you could try to knock down the one that's fighting with Lotekadi, or with the one that's fighting with Carl.
I'll tackle the one that's fighting Lotekadi. See if I can knock that one down as well.
All right.
That's a 15.
All right. Yeah, you beat it. You've got 3 on the ground. We'll take you'll be at a bonus the next time you attack. But right now,
End of round.
End of round. All right.
Who's shuffling?
Sorry, that was just me moving.
Yeah, that
Okay.
Who shuffles though?
I think they weren't very well. I mean, they were great shuffle. We didn't tap very far into them last time.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
just going to move a few of them around, and then go from the other end, so that
And maybe have someone like one of the other players who doesn't know where anything is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with Gunny. Gunny, you've got the sash around this guy's hands. You've got your knee on his back. People have stormed past you into the office, and now they're screaming and the sounds of bangs coming from the dock. Not far away. What are you doing?
Like the screaming that's coming from the docks, is it just like general screaming? Can I see where it's coming from where I am?
People are pointing and at a spot on the docks near where that big old wasp was. And people are running off the dock. And it looks like the wasp is pulling hard back from its dock. We talked about last time that it's never a good thing for somebody to have to just depart the dock aggressively, or especially in a busy port.
Can I see the? Do I have a clear line of sight at the spell? Whoever's spell jamming it.
You can't see into the ship to see who's spell jamming it.
But I have an idea where the bridge is, where the spell jammer would be.
The bridge is, but it's inside. It's internal to the ship.
Would I have I guess what I'm wondering is would I have a shot? Like would it do any good to shoot into the ship?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think even your gun can do enough damage to break the hull of a spelljammer or the hull of a ship, or to significantly damage the hull of a ship.
Okay.
Unless you get a lot closer, shooting at point blank range type thing. And even then, it's going to be you'd be unloading a lot of powder.
Yeah. All right. So focusing back then on the scroll that we're dealing with here. There's 3 of them that are restrained and 2 of them that are still.
There's 3 of them on the ground.
They're on the ground. Okay.
1 restrained, 1 fighting with Carl, and they all stop and look confused.
I think I'm going to question the one that I've just restrained. I'm going to put my blunderbuss right against the back of his head and say, what are you doing here? What's going on?
We don't know. We were just supposed to find the halfling.
And do what with him if you found him?
Bring him back.
Back to where?
The ship.
The ship that's leaving?
Without us. They're leaving without us.
So I think at this point, I'll. I think I'll yell stop that ship and get up and start running in that direction.
I was about to take us to a break. Does anybody have anything they would like to do before?
Other than chase the ship? No.
Right.
Well, Wait, so did the Scrow disengage from us? Is that the
Scrow you're fighting have gotten very confused.
I'm just like, does he still have my arm in his mouth?
Sort of, but sort of like a dog that's caught something and doesn't know what to do with it. So just sort of gives you side eye because you're looking at him like he's supposed to do something and he's confused.
Like this dog sitting next to me right now. I mean, I want to get free, but we can deal with that after break. That's
yeah. Let's take 5, or let's take back at 10 after the hour, and we will pick up from there. I'm going to do a quick summary of what you guys would like to do. Is that I figured these Scrow are not going to keep fighting if they've been left in
Actually, if possible, my thought is to let them in our ship and question, like for more questioning, or like invite them to our crew or something, in and then chase the other ship.
well, let's figure that out at 10 after.
All right, cool. Sorry for the wait.
Up, right on time. All right.
So I think Gunny may actually not follow you guys on the ship if we in pursuit, because I think I might need to bow out a little early.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you have a specific timeout, or do you need to go right away?
Probably pretty soon.
Okay.
Like as soon as a good exit opportunity.
I think this would probably be the best, as good as any right now. But I don't want to like push you away if you don't need to go right away.
Yeah, no, I could sooner the better, I think.
Okay. I'll just let you. I think it's just fine to just sort of exit when you need to go.
Yeah.
So
we could say maybe Gunny took the the captured scroll back to the library for questioning.
I think some city watch will show up to assist, but we'll figure that out. When we pick back up, or whenever I'm able to get more Troika back on the schedule. And Dylan, I'm sorry you're having to bow out early, but thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Yeah. No, thank you all. This was great. I just I wish I was in better health.
Yeah, feel better.
Thank you.
Feel better.
All right. Good night, everyone.
All right, so I think you guys have a couple of choices that are obvious to me, and then you may want to do something else. One is that you think you know where the base is, so you might wait and get prepped, or you may go jump into the Heartless Bastard and take off right away.
I, for one, am all for. Sorry, let me do this a little bit more in character. Let's get him
right now.
Do we know which ship is faster?
We have more than one.
Well, there's their ship and there's our ship.
Their ship is already pulling away from the dock.
Right. But what is the relative speed?
I think they are roughly as fast. I mean, spelljamming speeds are incredibly high speeds.
If we leave now, we can catch up.
Depending on whether you want to cut them off before they get back to their base or just sort of follow as closely as you can. The problem here's the thing you know. Once you hit spelljamming speeds, you can't follow somebody. I mean, you can't perceive people moving as fast as spelljammers move.
But we know where they might be going, right?
Right.
Yes, you could also see if they, which direction they head. If you take off, you can get their trajectory if you take off right now. But you will not be equipped. I mean, for instance, that you unleashed a lot of damage on Asir, on Sregor, when you fought him the first time, and he just turned to mist and went away.
Right. I mean, I want to stop long enough to get some silver weapons.
I think that's completely fair. Carl, you were wanting to take off right now. What is your thought?
The faster the captain is on board.
Yeah.
I'm worried about what's going to happen to him if we don't stick as close to them as possible. If we can even engage them in ship-to-ship combat before they get to spelljamming speeds, we can maybe get the captain off.
Okay. Well, we have to we have to cross the city to get to the Heartless Bastard. So if we can,
I will tell you, it has to get out of. The ship has to break out of the atmosphere and get a certain distance from the rock before it will be able to hit spelljamming speeds.
okay, that's
So you have some time.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're jumping in your ship now.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a path through the city to the Heartless Bastard that goes past a shop where I can get a silver axe.
The silver axe shop, unfortunately, is not something that's open on Glurn days.
Uh,
I can give you my knife.
yeah,
So you can have a weapon.
yeah. I mean, I imagine there's a regular axe of some sort somewhere on the Heartless Bastard.
Oh, sure. You know, there's definitely a regular axe somewhere on the Heartless Bastard.
I am really reluctant to go after them without silver weapons.
I mean, however, if they are, if you were somehow able to destroy their ship,
right? That's true.
That will slow their getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Profoundly.
So we have. So if we get to our ship now and engage in combat, that would be good.
All right. Well, it sounds like we go past the silver weapon shop and we discovered that they are closed for Glurn Day, and blast the luck.
All right.
Look, everybody needs a day off.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to hide a couple of things to make this character sheet more manageable. Hide. Or to make this character keeper more manageable, I'm going to hide a couple of things. And who is going where?
I think we're all going to the Heartless Bastard.
Yeah, but who's going to what crew stations? You need
What are the stations?
You need somebody at the spelljamming helm. You need somebody at the guns, it sounds like, and you need somebody to pilot.
All right. I mean, I in the past was the spelljammer, but it's all the same skill, right?
And Maria, go ahead and just roll one die, unless you remember your extra skill die. That was your spelljamming die. If not, you just roll one die, 1d6, and take whatever that is your spelljamming skill.
6.
Okay, awesome. You have a spelljamming of 6.
And that's on top of my 6 skill.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, so it was a 1d. Sorry, it was a d3. So you have a 3.
Okay, I was about to say like that does not. Yeah, OP spelljamming.
So
I knew I was saying something wrong.
it sounds like one of me and Lultikdi should be spelljamming and piloting, and Morel should probably be on the guns.
All right.
Right. Well, if we're using spelljamming for guns, that actually seems like a pretty critical station.
We're not. I don't think we use.
Yeah, I think we were using spelljamming for guns because otherwise,
right. Okay.
Gunny was the only one trained with anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So who's on what stations?
Oh, the problem is that all 3 of them are critical. If we're using the same skill, then
yeah.
I want to take guns. I can
take
do
guns. Great, you take guns. Morel, do you want spelljamming or piloting?
It seems like spelljamming provides raw speed, right? So that seems more important. So you take spelljamming, I'll take piloting.
Okay.
Actually, I would disagree because the raw speed we would need to get to base if the maneuvers don't work. So I think spelljamming is less important than piloting.
Okay.
At this point, at least.
Right, we're in atmosphere, so that makes sense.
Right. Okay, that makes all right. That's fine. So I'll take
if we decide
I'll take spelljamming. All right.
Okay.
Making a small chase map.
Ooh, chase map.
All right. So who's the Spelljammer and who's the pilot?
I'm the Spelljammer.
And
All right.
I am the pilot.
All right. They are already ahead of you when you get to the Heartless Bastard and take off. You have the advantage, though, that they sort of cleared people out of the docking area. You know, people had to clear out, or they either had to stay in dock, or they had to clear back away from the docks because somebody was making an unauthorized exit. So space is open, and I would like to start with the Spelljammer. We're going to do this is going to be a roll-off. So you're going to add your total Spelljamming and call it.
Uh, 13.
Do you have enough luck to push? You're at 6.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's right. I mean, I think I was down to 4 at the end of the last session.
Okay. Do you want to try pushing your luck at this point? Because it's a tie.
Okay, I'll try pushing.
Actually,
my luck.
with a tie, I think there's just no. You're not closing the distance.
Okay.
So you've not gotten yourself close enough to. I mean, Spelljammers do not have. This is old style ship to ship combat. You do not have long distance guns. You've got to close. To use your guns, you have to close. You've got ballista. To use that ballista, you've got to close close enough that you can practically see the people on deck.
So do we try again until it
Yeah.
works?
Yeah. So let's do. Another Spelljamming roll for the Spelljammer.
11.
11. You have beat them.
Your much better roll did not last time, but
Damn. You are piloting, correct, Carl?
I am.
You've gotten close enough that you can position yourself. Let's do Spelljamming versus Spelljamming.
So that is a 9 plus 9, 18.
I don't even think they can hit an 18. They've got a 14. So
Captain taught me a thing or two.
yeah, you've come up in front of them, and they are going to have to position themselves very, very differently with the trajectory that you're currently using. Once they clear the atmosphere and the space around the atmosphere, they're going to have to position themselves very, very differently in order even to be able to cut into a Spelljamming position. And I am going to.
Can I shoot?
Yes, and then let's go to initiative, or let's shuffle those initiative coins. Can we do that?
Do we take the blue one out? That's already.
Yeah, and if anything comes up, that's if it's faster just to like shuffle them, I can just ignore anything that doesn't count.
All right. Yeah. Do I erase the blue one that's already out?
Yeah, just shuffle it off to the side.
All right. All right.
And go ahead and roll with Spelljamming.
Me?
Yep.
Very cool.
Lotekge. I cannot. I'm having a terrible name with names.
That's another 18.
Whoa. Okay, and that's another 14 on them.
How does damage work on Spelljammers?
I believe you guys. Give me 1 second. I've lost my window. What the hell? Something crashed. Recent
Not
item.
our ship.
Not your ship.
Well,
Definitely
clearly.
Definitely not your ship. And then here's the thing. They're in a stolen military ship and you're in an exploration ship. So you need to hit them a lot more than they need to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I'm not going to do the. Actually, Maria, treat it as a, for purpose of this, treat it as a. What's the best one? Something that starts at a 1. Treat it as a club.
All right. As a club with. Okay. Reroll. That is a 3, which becomes a 2. I would like to push my luck.
All right.
That is 8. So I did not push my luck.
All right. So you lose. Yeah, your luck goes down by 1.
It is still an equivalent of 2 damage, I think. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Just so you guys know, you have 10 hull points.
Got it.
All right. Spelljammer. Actually, yeah, you've already shuffled, right, Maria?
No, but we only drew the blue one last time we shuffled, so I just took it to the side. So
now I have no memory of where anything was. I'm going to start at the top here, and we start with the gunner.
Gunner is gonna shoot the gun.
All right.
7 plus 9 is 15.
Yeah.
No, 16. 16.
They are 3 below you.
All right.
So roll your damage again.
Roll my fucking club. That is another 3. I would like to push my luck again.
All right.
And that did not work. So 2 damage again.
So just to be clear, we don't want to blow them out of the air because, again, the captain is on board that ship. We just want to hobble them enough that we can stop them from leaving atmosphere, and we can figure out how to deal with them.
Right.
All right.
I mean, if there's a way to like have a called shot against their helm or whatever.
Right. You know roughly that the captain is on, or was on, the crew deck, roughly parallel to the hold.
Right. What's the next?
It is them. I think they're going to try to. Whoever's spelljamming that is good, and I think they're going to try to put enough energy in to shake you. Let's have a roll off
between the spell.
Yeah.
12.
And they do shake you. And they are pretty far away. If any of you come up, we will default to the Spelljammer. Actually, if the pilot comes up, I'll just have the pilot roll off for getting close.
All right.
Since you have control over things like trajectory and other things besides speed. And no, it is the gunner.
No, it's the Spelljammer.
No, it's
Spelljammer.
me.
Sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to catch up to them. And 11. I am not rolling well today.
18. As they are opening up a broad lead ahead of you. Let's pull purple out. It will not be as effective because of the distance, but they are going to try to fire.
So fire against fire, or how does it work?
Yeah, it'll be fire against fire.
All right.
It's
That
not,
is
not against
16.
maneuvering?
Sorry?
Sorry, go ahead.
16.
Yeah, I'm just going to do fire against fire. Maneuver would actually make more sense.
It's the same.
It's the same roll. It's the same.
Yeah, we have the same skill, so.
And Lotekides is, and also Lotekides is also like essentially firing before they do.
Yeah.
Is essentially what you're trying to find out.
Yeah.
But with a tie, I'm going to have you both roll damage on the gunning shot.
All right, I'm gonna push my luck.
Yeah, you're going to. Well, first.
Or actually, I'm not even going to try to push my luck. That's a 1.
Okay. Yeah, because right now, because they're so far away, I'm having you roll it unarmed.
Unarmed would be 1 still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's a. Let's go with that. And Carl, you can try to catch up to them with your skill just by using sort of trajectory.
Mad maneuvering skills.
Mad maneuvering skills.
Little take tack correctly, whatever it is. That was not amazing. That is 14.
They beat you by 1.
Oof. We're going to lose them and have to try and just go to the place anyway. Aren't we?
I don't know why I'm prepping to roll. Carl, again.
All right, I'll see what I can do. That's much better. That's a 18.
Much worse. It's a 14. But you guys are getting closer.
Can I? So, this is just a general question that's not going to have bearing until my next turn. But like, excuse me. Obviously, we're behind them now. But assuming if Morrill can get a little bit more juice out of the helm, can I try to maneuver us so that we're like direct, sort of the body of the ship is in the way and they have to turn back a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see if we can make that happen before we lose them.
Or you can do something dramatic and try to come alongside them.
And board.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens when that time comes. We may never get close enough.
There is an open space around the gunning deck.
Mm-hmm.
I was mistaken last week and said there was not, because it does not look like there is on the inside, but on the external picture, there is clearly. And I don't know again why I'm grabbing dice when I need to be flipping tokens. It is Morrill.
Okay, more power. I'm going to try to catch. Oh, there we go. That's an 18. That's finally a good roll.
They are coming. You are coming up close.
I'm getting the hang of this. It's a new ship to me.
It is, and all of this power is coming out of you.
And don't forget that you get a mark on Spelljamming now.
That's true. You do. They're going to try to fire at you, though. So let's do gun versus gun. Unless you guys want to do gun versus maneuver.
Gun versus gun is the same as gun versus maneuver. So
yeah, but I want you to tell me. Do you want to do gun versus gun or gun versus maneuver?
So
what's the difference then?
Sorry, go ahead.
You'll do damage to them now versus potential more damage to them later, or coming up, getting closer to being alongside them.
Are we going to want to try to board the ship ultimately? Like, is that our goal here? I think it probably is.
I mean, do we want to engage the captain without silvered weapons, or what was the plan?
I will tell you, if you break them up in space,
they're in space. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, though, you have a limited amount of time before the atmosphere because Spelljammer physics. You have a limited amount of time before atmosphere disperses in a shipwreck because the gravity of the wreck keeps the atmosphere there. Spelljammer physics, not real physics. Spelljammer physics.
I remember something about phlogiston.
That is between the spheres.
Between the spheres, but we are remaining within one sphere.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right.
Anyway, sorry. Spelljammer.
So basically, we want to blow them up in space.
That is one. Blowing them up in space is not necessarily going to hurt the captain as long as you get to him relatively quickly in this shipwreck.
All right.
Got it.
That also involves disembarking and hopping between. I've forgotten my word for shipwreck pieces. Hopping between wreckage to find him before the gravity keeping the pieces and the atmosphere together sort of disperses.
All right. So I'm guessing gunner.
Yeah.
All
right.
Or you could just pull alongside board and have a slugfest with a bunch of space pirates.
I think we can. I think it's preferable to gun at this point. I'm not sure. What's your opinion?
I mean, I'm kind of the opinion that silver weapons are a little bit overrated against these vampires. Like, we don't really, right? What did we say about silver?
Like, does it work against mist though?
Like, it does a little bit more damage, right? But it's not.
No, it does permanent damage.
Oh,
if you don't use silver, they just disperse and go away.
All right, but we just need them to disperse and go away, at least at first.
Right.
All right. Your choice. I don't know.
Take the shot, little tickety. Take the shot.
7 + 9, 16.
You beat them. Roll your damage on the normal club table.
Club. Fucking finally, that's a 6 on the club table.
Nice.
That's 8 damage then.
What would you? So there's the big targets. Out as you are the tail, which is where the cargo, underneath which the cargo goes in. The gunning deck, which is a pretty small gunning deck, and the bridge. The problem with the bridge is the captain was last seen there.
So what's our goal with the captain? Capture him, basically?
No, I'm sorry, I keep Sregor Hasir is this ship's captain. You're specifically trying to rescue your captain or their captain, Mateus, who was kidnapped by Sregor.
Oh, okay. So I think.
Sorry, we did not make that clear.
Apologies.
If it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna disable the guns so they don't shoot back. So they're forced to like retreat while we ping them. Pretty
Right.
much.
All right. They're going to lose an initiative token. I'm going to flip. And they're going to make one more last effort to beat out you by sheer spelljamming, maneuverability, and force. When you were in the helm, even before you hit real spelljamming speed, Moral, you sense everything around you in a way that is impossible to describe. Like you lose sense of like the people on the ship specifically, not completely, but and you're aware of sort of the tactical display almost. It's almost like this beautiful crystalline model of the world around you out to a great distance. And it's intense and peaceful, but you're also very aware of things moving away from you and towards you. Why don't you roll your spelljamming, Moral?
10.
Oh man, they have an 18. It's just by sheer force. Their sails fill with the atmosphere, and they start to move as the out is where the atmosphere is thinning. Gunner.
All right.
Why don't you roll?
Can I shoot the sails, basically?
Yeah.
All right. That is 15.
That is 17.
Ah.
You've damaged their guns.
So they can't really fight back, but they can escape.
They can't fight back well. So they're going to hit you for 3.
And how much did we lose already?
None. You started at 10 and you've not been hit yet. Carl, what does this look like, this ship you're in getting hit by a large ballista bolt that's not well fired?
So I think kind of what happens is it comes in, and because like we've been trying to sort of like close on them to get a clear shot. We're not coming straight onto their guns, and their guns have less mobility. So what happens is the bolt is coming towards us, but it's not like, you want to come around and have a broadside, so your guns are pointed against the side of the ship.
Right.
They don't have that kind of angle on us, so it kind of glances off. Maybe even like sticks in the hull, which like at a odd like angle, which weakens the hull, but doesn't do any like substantial structural damage.
Right. I think your bridge has those 2 big sort of like patterned glass, beautiful windows, like that are almost like fixed orbs. Like you've got these like little pieces of patterned glass that like form like a semi dome in kind of like dragonfly eye patterns.
Yeah.
Right in front of you, and it breaks through one of the dragonfly eyes patterns, and goes skittering through the deck. Now, for those of you who don't know Spelljammer physics, you do not need an airtight compartment to travel in wild space because your ship maintains its own atmosphere. That's your lesson for today in Spelljammer physics. So I think you've got a bolt sort of like skittering like kind of loosely across the bridge. And you've got some broken glass at your feet, but you can still see out. And it hasn't hit the sails yet. That's Gunny, which means the next one is end of round. Can we get a quick shuffle of the tokens? And I will not look.
Well, if I get to hide them, hide. Do you see them now?
Nope.
All right, cool. Let me. Yeah, like I am turning them white now, so. Well, if the light blue ones, if I can see what the light blue ones are look like, so. Reveal. There we go.
Nice. All right. Start in the center. Dang it. Could you do a really quick reshuffle? I accidentally flipped too. Which I did not mean to do. I always forget that. Sorry about that. I think that should be good. And Moral? They are almost to the atmosphere buoy.
Okay, one last-ditch effort. That's an 11. I don't think that's going to be good enough.
That is an 18. They are past the atmosphere buoy.
So here's a question. We don't have an astrogator.
Yeah. You don't.
A what?
A navigator, basically.
Oh.
I will let you have your maps with you. Your star charts.
Right.
Well, to be fair, if once we're on spelljamming speed, if we lost them, then I can get off the guns, I guess, and navigate.
Right.
Right. It's just we don't like that. The astrogating was a separate skill. Right?
Oh.
Oh, right. Astrology.
Astrology was a separate. It was a separate skill. Which I mean, we can roll it, but
right.
A slight disadvantage there.
Yeah.
Although, if the maps will help. But I presumably we want to go to that spot on the maps now that we've lost them.
Because as soon as they lose atmosphere, they make a very risky move, and immediately fully engage the spelljamming helm. You sense them. To the moment they pass the atmosphere, Moral, and you see them just sort of vanish into sort of a peaceful, crystalline sort of space. And they're gone. What do you do?
Go to the base then, I guess. Try to go to the base.
Right. At spelljamming speeds, we'll be going at basically the same speed, right? So we'll get there around when they do if they're going to the same place.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's essentially where the astrology roll would come in.
Right.
To get to precisely enough location. I mean, because you've got a star chart, but that belt of asteroids is always in motion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who wants to? Should I do it since I have more skill and more luck in case we need it?
I think that is a very reasonable idea.
Now this will be So
under my.
No, actually, I think we're just do a roll off of their astrology to your astrology.
All right. Well, that is a 14.
A 14?
Not bad.
That is a 14, so it's good you have that extra luck.
I know, right? Now, if I could only not roll box cards when I fucking do luck.
Box cards on luck is good.
Oh, it is?
Oh, no, box cards, not box cards. You want snake eyes on luck.
I know, that's my input.
In my head, I reverse box cards and snake eyes because,
Because Troika is weird and sometimes you want low and sometimes you want high.
Also because dice terminology and I have never gotten along.
Oh, okay.
Or at least craps terminology.
Bruh. Anyways, that was shitty luck.
Oh, did you not make the luck roll?
I got box cards, like I said.
Oh no. Okay, sorry. I didn't realize you were talking about just right this second.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess we get there at the same time because that was the
right.
That was what we were trying to push.
Looking at the charts, and I'm going to say this takes about a day of time in spelljamming space. It's far enough away that it's going to take almost a day. If you want to do a full day of recovery.
Oh, that would be amazing.
How does that work again?
Let me read.
Let me find the recovery page. Getting better of us as well.
That's right. You guys can try to improve your.
All right. So basically, for example, for glaive fighting, I have to get 9 or better, or over 9 rather. Right.
Right.
Just making sure.
Right. Mm-hmm.
On 1d6.
That is on 9 exactly, so I don't think that works.
Right, that's on 2d6, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, so the glaive fighting does not work.
For those of you who are down on luck, you may.
And neither does the spelljamming. And down on luck?
You regain 2d6 luck.
Boy. All right, that is.
And 2d6 stamina.
My wrestling went up. That's good. And how many you can attempt to raise? How many?
Any that you.
I'm just gonna say, any that you've got a mark on.
Isn't there a limited number? I thought it was.
It says up to 3.
Up to 3.
Oh, up to 3. I only had to test 2 anyways because I only have to. Yeah. And how do we learn more skills again?
It just takes time.
Oh, time.
You sort of dedicate time to it. I was letting them for things that seemed fairly obvious that you could get better at.
Yeah.
Quickly, just kind of write it in. Like awareness is one of those things that you don't need like a class on. You just get better at it by practice. So I was letting them sort of like write it down, and if they tested their awareness, they could try it.
All right, makes sense.
All right. Well, my axe fighting goes up. I'm gonna try to improve my spell jamming.
And recovering health and luck is 1d6 for luck and 2d6 for stamina. Is that the?
It is 2d6 for luck and 2d6 for stamina. You cannot exceed your maximum.
Well,
Okay,
good thing I have
Spelljamming
shitty
does-
luck because I guess because I hit my maximum and more. I actually rolled 8 when my maximum luck is 7.
Oh. No, you don't need to beat your luck. Oh, you mean on your last luck roll?
No, I mean like on recovering luck.
Oh, you rolled.
I recovered 8 points out of my 7.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Axe fighting went up, rusting and spelljamming did not.
That's super weird. Oh, that's what's going on. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Keep on clicking submit instead of re-roll. Why is nothing changing?
Submit instead of reroll for what? Rolling, I guess. Right?
All right. I am as recovered as I am getting.
Yeah, same.
All right. So you guys get to the coordinates, though it takes you a little bit of time to sort of navigate towards them. At first, kind of coming at it from below, it looks like just another sizable, or not too sizable, actually just a decent sized asteroid, something you could carve a castle out of, maybe a little bit less, but it looks uncarved at first. As you approach it from the sunward side, but as you circle around to the dark side of the asteroid, the first thing you see as you come around is what looks like the face of a large Greek temple, with vast doors sort of behind the columns, and the columns are sort of organized in an asymmetrical way that's kind of imposing, and they look like it's just a solid piece of rock that was carved to look like a Greek temple. So the columns are not necessarily holding anything up. They're there specifically to look imposing and dramatic. But then as you come around wide, you see that there is a space for a single craft to sort of land in what looks like a hollow on the dark side of this on the dark side of this asteroid. There's a hollowed out space, and there's lights arranged around the edge of that hollowed out space. And in that space where the single craft was designated to land, is the wasp. You see where you hit it. In fact, you see that they've removed the gun from the gun turret already, probably during the voyage, since they could not have landed too far ahead of you, unless they have a very, very effective spelljammer.
So my question is, are they still on board?
You don't see movement on it, but it's
Right.
not well lit.
All right.
You can try to land on the surface of the asteroid up towards the hollow, or you can try to land at the front where that sort of like temple-like entrance is. This asteroid is definitely big enough to, much like a ship, have its own atmosphere, and everything in Spelljammer physics has its own gravity, and gravity is not proportional. It's always just on Earth gravity or off, no gravity.
So, can we it's okay with you guys, can we shoot the wasps' sails in case they try to exit? Does that sound like a good idea for you guys?
The only thing is it will alert them to our presence if they're not aware of it already.
Yeah,
but
true.
I mean, people do not have scanners. They may have a lookout that you've not seen, but no one has like scanners.
Okay.
Right.
You're
like my intent was to sabotage any means of escape if they do try to.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. It may not matter given that they can't. Like, I guess the question is, what's our objective here? Do we want to try to sneak on and see if we can infiltrate and get the captain out and figure out what they're up to, or do we want to like strand them and then like just like full on sort of assault from above, given that they're sort of immobilized there, right? Those are, I think, like the two main strategies we can take. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What's your so your strength and fist fighting is the same as my glaive fighting as well.
I mean, I'll tell you what Carl wants to do. Carl wants to punch holes in things. So he's all for blowing out the sails and going for a full on frontal assault.
Let's do that then.
I'm sorry, I keep on doing that.
That's fair. Let's do that.
You okay with that?
Yeah, that sounds fine. We've got the advantage of surprise because they didn't know we could follow them. So we might as well hit them hard, hit them fast, and disable their ships so that they can't get out of here.
And I'm still at the guns as far as I know, so I'm gonna do the gunner roll.
Yeah, so make the gunner roll.
Would that be under or
you're just gonna do it under because you've got a stationary target that doesn't seem to notice you.
That is under 4.
Nice. Rolled it like it's a spear.
Spear. Let me find reroll selected. That is a 1, which is not good. I'm not gonna push, but that's 4 damage.
It may be able to take off, but it's pretty badly damaged.
All right.
I mean, can you take another shot, or do they like what's the
Do we know what they want with the captain?
I think they were using him for food.
Okay, then we need to get off now.
Is that right? Am I remembering correctly?
We weren't really sure what they were doing.
They weren't really. I think you. I was trying to remember how much you guys had figured out about what was going on with the captain. They were not mindlessly eating at him.
Got it.
Okay.
To have some sort of larger agenda.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Okay. In that case, I don't think we. Maybe we can get another shot. Your call.
I would take it.
All right, cool. Reroll.
You've got a few more ballista in there, or you've got a few more ballista bolts.
All right. So I'm gonna reroll.
All right.
That is still under. That's a 5.
Roll like a spear.
That is better. That's 6 damage. Yes, 6 damage.
You sever one of the sails off.
All right, cool. And I guess pilot lands.
Yeah.
Where are you landing? Are you landing near the hollow?
I think we want to land like on the asteroid surface, a little ways away from the hollow.
Okay.
Meaning that like they don't have easy access to it necessarily, but we know the route to escape. You know, like it's not so far away. Is this a spell jamming roll, presumably?
No, you can just land.
Oh, yeah, then we'll just land.
And make you like roll to land.
Mhm.
You're not badly damaged. Your windows are damaged.
I'm sure
But
so the captain can get a better look at the stars. He'll like that.
Certainly the atmosphere on this thing is hazy. Smoky. It may be that, since no one needs to breathe here, no one's been worried about the freshness of the atmosphere here for a while. But it smells stale and rank, like as you come in, and you're not closed in. So as soon as you land, your broken windows start flowing with the rest of the atmosphere. And there's definitely whiffs of haze and smoke. And where are you going once you land? Down the gangplank too.
Towards the temple area, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the temple or towards the hollow?
I think towards the hollow where they're landed, right? Or do we want to? Can we?
So how far away is the temple from the hollow? Are they like adjacent or?
There's a few like you're landed near the hollow, so there's like. Let me look at the map. It's about a few hundred feet, maybe 100, 150.
I guess I'm thinking
It's about 100 feet.
Okay, so I'm thinking they're taking him to the temple because logic. So temple.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
Now you're going to come down onto the roof of this temple. Are you equipped to climb down?
I've got rope.
It looks like it would be best if you kind of came down along the side.
I can sneak or attempt to sneak in. Like they're aware that we're coming, but
Right.
But I can still attempt to sneak, right?
Right. No, what I'm saying though is you're going to come down. You're sort of on the roof of the temple now.
All right. Yeah.
And it's like being on the roof of like a 2 or 3 story building.
Okay.
What I'm asking is, what's your strategy for coming off the roof of that?
Is there a roof entrance? I guess this is the first.
No, one. There is not. I mean, other than the hollow.
I think just secure a rope to the ship and just rappel down.
Do you have several hundred feet of rope? Because the ship is going to be a few hundred feet away from where you want to come down.
Is there? And there's nothing.
I mean, this is a ship. It must have a lot of rope on board, right?
No question. I think you answered this already, but there's nothing on the roof to secure it to, right?
There's nothing on the roof to secure what to?
To secure a rope to.
You would have to have a hammer. You're on rock.
I mean, so let's see. Let's see. We don't have a hammer. We have a bronze fist.
You have a bronze fist. You have spikes. I think you'd have spikes on the ship.
That's what the question is. Do we have spikes?
Yeah, you've got some spikes on the ship.
All right. So can I try to?
Because you have some spikes on the ship. You don't have enough rope to go from the ship down to the floor of the.
Can I try to hammer a spike into the roof of the temple? With my
yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, like I said, this is just carved out of the asteroid.
Right. So like into the stone surface.
Right.
Is that a thing I can do?
Yeah. Or do you want to send what now I've taken several turns and not said it. Lal take a D down first. Or are other people also going to? Well, you have 2 sneaky people who are equivalently sneaky, and you have 1 very non-sneaky person.
Very not sneaky.
I think the very non-sneaky would stay on top, I guess.
Sounds good.
Until you get an all clear signal, a
Yeah.
yank of the rope or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll go first because I have the glaive.
All right.
Is it under or contested?
Actually, I'm not gonna. Now that I know kind of how you're setting it up, yeah, I'd like you to sort of go down first. I'll take it and sort of like, yeah, I think it maybe if you brace the rope, like from the, so like give it leverage, it will not be quite so dramatic for Moral to like come down. Because right now, like it's just sort of like rope descending into open space. But if you can sort of loop it around to where he can rappel off the edge of rappel off the edge of one of the pillars, it'll be a little easier for him to climb down.
So what skill is that?
Let's do strength.
Cool. Strength is something I have. And roll under, right?
Uh-huh.
That is a 4, I think.
Nice.
It showed the same thing as I already had, but I clicked the button. So.
And Moral, let's roll climb for you.
Okay.
Just under.
8. Now I get a high roll. So I missed by 1.
Well, take a D. Just roll your skill.
Okay, raw skill. That is 6, and my skill is 6. What
Nice.
happens on dice?
You are able to sort of like intercept Moral before he goes sort of spinning off the rope over the side. Probably not with enough momentum to get into orbit. But definitely you're near the plane of gravity, so he might start bobbing as he falls into the opposite plane of gravity and then falls in the back in the opposite direction. It's always good for a laugh, not always good when you're trying to stealth into an enemy fortress. And I am just going to have, for that though, I'm going to, between being caught and winded and burn your arm, go ahead and take 2 stamina damage, Moral. But the 2 of you are down now, and you can both roll your sneak. And you are both at 7, and let's roll an add.
Rolling it.
Mm-hmm.
7 plus 8 is 15.
$10.
All right. You seem stabilized, and you guys seem relatively quiet. There is, there's a big sort of open space once you kind of come in from across the side that is clearly like an entrance into this fortress type space. This may be more of a portico where you sort of come and view the stars. It's also, dimly lit with a bunch of big lanterns that sort of hang from the ceiling in the recessed areas near the door. And it's not near the doorway. There is not a door that can close or open. There's just a doorway into the asteroid. And it's lit with sort of like big decorative lanterns in multicolored glass, mostly red and yellow and orange. And the atmosphere down here is just as stale and hazy as it is on the surface. What do you do?
Look for the captain.
I mean, like, where are you? Are you going inside to the fortress?
I'll go inside.
Are you conjuring? Are you not conjuring? Are you summoning Carl to come down after you?
I mean, I'm going ahead,
Okay.
but Morel can summon Carl if he wants.
Morel,
Yeah,
what are you up to? Morel, what are you doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going into the temple.
Okay, so you two of you are sort of like positioning yourself to stealth into the temple. You are near the plane of gravity, and for in Spelljammer physics, that means that's when the anything large flips, so that it's things are drawn to the opposite side rather than the top side. For you it's the top side, and for anybody who were to go down below the level you're on would flip gravity, and they would be on the top side to them. That's the sunward facing side that did not have any visible depressions or doors or anything like that. So if I'm alerting you to this because if anything leads down, you will be going into a flip. So you'll be climbing and sort of pivoting. Carl, you're up on top. What are you doing?
Have they signaled to me?
No.
No. I think I'm waiting.
All right.
I'm looking like a statue.
You indeed are. You guys come into this sort of vestibule-shaped opening, also sort of asymmetrical in the kind of temple front area. And the hallway sort of narrows before sort of widening out again. It's about roughly 20 feet across. There's a dimly lit alcove in front of you. That has what looks like in the dim light, it looks like an animal. It looks like an animal sculpture of some sort. Maybe like a wolf or a dog. And there's hallways that sort of branch off to the left, and then there's a door to the right. Like there's the alcove right in front of you, there's a hallway to the left, and a door to the right.
I'll go towards the door. And I put my ear to the door. And listen in.
Roll your skill.
Alright. Oh. That is an 11 out of 6.
Moral, If she's listening at the door, I'd like you to roll your awareness. If not, just roll your skill.
Okay, I'll roll awareness. That's a 5 out of 7.
Oh, sorry, add. I'm sorry.
Okay, 12.
I apologize.
For a second there, I thought I had a good roll.
Sorry about that. I mean, you notice that this animal sculpture is clearly a taxidermy of some sort. But, other than that, there's just that dark hallway. The lanterns are spaced even more lightly to the left. And you don't hear much beyond Lovetikides except maybe some trickling water.
All right.
A small fountain of some sort.
Go down the hallway then.
To the left? All right. You come around, and the hallway seems largely empty. In the lantern light, which gets a little more, the hallway opens up. You can tell ahead of you is a space where the hallway opens up into a larger room. That's a very large, long room. And there's a set of double doors at the end of that very large, long room. And maybe something off to the right inside that long room. And immediately to your right, as you come around the bend, or you follow the hallway along a bend, you're guessing near the edge of the asteroid, is another door. Or sorry, you passed screwed this up. Before you came around the bend, there was a door. There was a single door just past the alcove where you saw the sort of like taxidermied wolf. And then as you came around the bend, there's another door to your right. And then ahead of you is the big area that sort of opens up. You're in a small hallway, so you can't see what's on the other side of the hall. Once it goes into that open area, you can see through the end of the hall is a set of double doors.
Go to the double doors.
Walking all the way through?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're passing by those two doors on your right. They're just small. You come into, like I said, you come into that wider area that the hallway opens into. And this is almost like a receiving chamber of some sort. And again, the atmosphere is hazy, dense. And it's decorated with sort of trophies, it looks like. And roll your skill again, Lovetikides. And where are you, Moral?
I'm just behind her.
Okay. You can both roll awareness or just roll your skill.
That's a
fine.
fail.
And is this under or add?
Just under is fine.
Okay, I got a 6 out of 7. So I actually succeeded.
Moral, are you looking up or are you looking behind as you notice something?
I think I'm glancing up.
You glance up. And you see one of the those mechanical spider things let go of the ceiling, like it's just about to land on Loctiotes.
Okay, I've got my axe ready. I mean,
Right. Okay.
I
So take a swing.
I guess I can't actually swing the axe to swat it aside because I'm too short. So I will toss the axe and knock it aside.
Yeah. And real quick, Jesse, would you shuffle our tokens for us? Because I think I'm going to keep these guys busy for a second. Let us roll off on that. Roll your axe fighting.
Okay. That is a 16.
They get a 15, so you have beat them. Roll your axe damage.
That's a 6. So that's 10 damage.
You break this thing's shell. And that's when you hear the snarling behind you. And how are those tokens looking? I am going to flip one. And this is going to be Carl, who
So that's
you're standing.
Moral.
Oh, sorry. You hear snarling behind you, Moral. I apologize, guys. I cannot keep the colors straight tonight.
It's all right.
Moral, you hear snarling behind you.
Okay, spin around and look.
And you're pretty sure this is the wolf that you thought was taxidermied in the other room, and it is immediately behind you. What do you want to do?
I think I caught the axe on the rebound, and I am going to swing it over.
I'm going to ask you to test your luck for that.
Okay. Fair enough.
You said it with confidence. I assume you just did it.
3.
Yeah, you were able to grab the axe again and throw. Are you swinging it or throwing it, or?
I'm going to this time. I'm swinging it overhead. I'm trying to stave its skull in.
Nice. All right.
So I assume this is roll and add for axe fighting.
Roll an add.
17.
Oh God, Moral. That hurts. Roll your damage.
I only got a 1. So.
Do you want to press your luck again? I mean, the 1 to 3 is a pretty big jump with an axe.
Yeah. Okay. I've got the luck to burn for now. So that's okay. 8. That succeeds. So that pushes it up to 6 damage.
Sure. Carl.
Yes, it is.
As you're like, where did they go? You hear someone whisper. Waiting for something.
I turn to face the voice.
Hasir. forms from the mist that's hazily formed over the face of the planet, or this asteroid. And I'd like you to, what are you going to do? His cockiness may be his undoing because he spoke first.
All right, I'm going to do something dumb. I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to ask him about. I'm going to ask him if he's alive.
I thought we told you life is overrated.
How is what you are different from what they are downstairs? Oh, that was dumb. From my companions.
I'm better.
Better how?
Because they die. I don't.
So am I also better?
You're all right.
And then I punch him in the face.
Punch him.
Always with the punching.
Always with the punching.
The questions about life and death, and then the punching. It's not a good roll, though. 3 plus 9 is 12.
Your fists come out, and then, like lightning speed, he draws his sword and cleaves into your hands. Yeah, you will use your armor on this to nothing, I believe, as his sword clangs against the metal of your hands. The wolf goes for your throat, Moral.
Okay.
Good Lord.
This is a
The wolf got snake eyes.
so I don't even need to roll.
Roll to see if you get snake eyes, but other than that, you will roll your roll your damage with the axe.
That's a 5. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's 8 damage.
The previous wounds you did on the wolf look like they're knitting themselves together. But you cleave into them again, reopening them. Latikdi, you have turned around and noticed that both Moral destroyed one of those spider things that you'd heard about, but this one was silver. They talked about bronze ones, they talked about electrum ones. This one is pure silver, and is now struggling with a wolf. What are you doing?
Stab wolf with my glaive.
Nice. Go to it.
17.
16.
Boy. 6, which translates to 14.
Where do you impale the wolf as it lunges past Moral towards you?
The mouth.
Do you sever off the top of its head?
Yeah.
The top of its head comes off, but there's very little blood. And then the wolf just sort of evaporates into mist.
All right. Let's just keep going.
Only that silver chainsaw shop had been open.
So I'm going to keep in initiative because there's multiple things going on. You're going through those double doors.
Yeah.
You open them. There's a hallway beyond them that's, the same width as the hallway you came out of into this big sort of receiving room that oddly doesn't have any furniture. Now on the receiving room, there was a big door to the right. You're guessing that would be in towards the interior of the asteroid. And that may be towards the hollow where the ship landed.
Okay.
The double doors seem to be going back along around the perimeter of the asteroid.
All right. I would like to go double doors then.
Okay. You open them. Same lighting situation, these big colorful lanterns. And there is a hallway off to the right where it branches, and then it keeps going forward where it comes into a large room. Which way do you go?
The large room.
You pass by where it branches off to the right. And there's some sort of setup with tables and a sarcophagus in the middle of it, though the top of the sarcophagus seems off. And that's the room that you're passing by on your right. There's also a big room at the end of the hallway. Where are you going?
End of hallway.
Okay, so you keep going to the end of the hallway. This space looks like it was sort of a sitting area at one time. Though it has been closed off. There is a door that goes off to your right from where you enter the room. Like I said, this seems to be following the edge of the asteroid. And it's clearly locked.
Bash it in.
All right. Roll into your strength.
And strong.
And then I'm going to switch.
That is 9, which is not under my strength.
Nice. Okay, yeah, the door is not getting anything, giving it all. And you hear her beating, or you hear them beating on the door. Apologies. You hear them beating on the door down there. Moral. Stregor comes at you with his sword. Carl?
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll. Roll with your fighting.
Mm-hmm. Roll with my fist fighting. All right, I'm gonna try to grab it and catch it.
Great.
7 + 9, 16.
You grab it and catch it. Are you going to try to disarm him?
Yes.
Well, you've caught it, so I'm going to see your turn comes up.
Yep.
You'll be able to rip it away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Moral. This is working nicely. You're sort of still standing back in that big receiving room. You saw Lakites go through those double doors and keep passing along the hallway towards the end, and then you heard them punch something big, sounds like a door. Like I said, there is a door towards the center of the asteroid to your right. You can go check out what Lakites is doing, or there's a room sort of off to the right, slightly ahead of you, between Lakites and you.
I'll stick with Lakites.
All right. You also see as you pass by that room, there is no door to it, so you can see the table. You can see that very familiar looking set of sarcophagi. On the table, but no one is standing next to it.
Okay, I guess I'll run and check to see what's in the sarcophagi. See if they're occupied.
There's just one on the table.
Just one. Right,
sarcophagus. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm being confusing.
Yes.
Yeah, you scramble up on that table, and inside that sarcophagus is the captain. All right, not Stragor Kassir, Captain Matthias.
Captain Matthias. Is he alive?
Check awareness.
Okay, I assume this is roll under.
Roll under, yeah.
Yeah, 5. That's success.
It's very faint, but you can feel the breathing.
Okay.
You can see the throat, sort of not the full chest rise and fall, but you can just see a little bit of breath come out of his mouth and see the throat sort of move.
Okay, I will. In that case, I will not kill him. Yeah, I try to wake him up.
He is not responsive, though you can test your luck.
Okay. 9. That will not do it.
So your luck goes down. Are you saying anything or crying out or anything like that?
I'm talking in a low voice, but mostly I'm shaking him and just trying to.
I mean, are you trying to do it Lautikides?
Right. At first, At first, I'm just trying to wake the captain. When I fail to wake the captain, I shout for Lautikidi.
Right. Okay. Flip. End of round. I'm going to flip everything back over to white, and somebody can shuffle.
Okay. I want to take a moment and just use the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. Please do.
Yeah. Do you want me to shuffle again, or?
Please do. I don't remember enough to know where things are going if I'm not the one shuffling them. Also, I don't really.
Wait, when's time?
15. We had 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right, shuffle.
Lautikides. You see Miss come under the floor. And sorry, I keep hitting wrong windows. I'd like you to roll glaive fighting, though the thing that's the Nyogi, which is a cross between a humanoid, a lamprey eel, and I think I've got one of the, yeah, here we go. Here's an okay illustration of one. It does not get the subtle creepiness of the Nyogi. It's quite perfectly, but it's like a cross between a lamprey eel, a humanoid, and a spider. And it's about the size of like a German Shepherd. A small German Shepherd.
And you want me to roll?
You can pick it up and hold it if you were snugly. But it has large teeth. I'd like you to roll your glaive fighting.
Contested?
Yeah, and it's going to be contested.
That's 5 plus 9, so 13.
That is a 12. So you beat it to whatever it was trying to do, which was make eye contact with you.
And
so you're going to roll your glaive damage, because
right.
whenever you win a contest, you do whatever you were.
So that's 5. So that will be 12. I'm going to try to push my luck.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that is 2 snake eyes.
Nice.
So that goes up to 18.
What are you trying to do with this?
Kill the Neogi.
Yes, but how?
So as soon as I see the Neogi, I will try to avoid their gaze as I take my glaive and cut their neck.
That lamprey-like neck just severs, and it turns into dust. Not dust, to vapor or mist again. And the room clears a little bit, and then you hear Moral calling from the other room. I'm going to flip over the next token, and that is you. What are you doing?
Go to the room.
Yeah, you see him standing on that table that you passed by a while ago and looking down at the sarcophagus, and he's pointing to Captain Mateus, who works for the library and is the captain of the Heartless Bastard.
Okay, I'm gonna slap him awake.
Test your luck.
All right. That is not good.
You did not succeed. Yeah, he's not awake.
All right.
But he is clearly like breathing.
Okay.
As Moral points out, and he sort of breathes a little deeper when you slap him, but he does not really come to. There's not going to be much a way out of here other than to have you carry him. Moral is too small.
Okay, I'll carry him. So I'm guessing we're just going back the way we came.
I don't know if you have much of a choice.
Yeah.
Unless you're just going to randomly wander through this complex.
No, we're just going to go back.
Carl.
Yes.
You're trying to grab that sword is what you suggested a while ago. Is that still what you'd like to do?
It is. As I'm doing it, I want to ask him, I want to say, what do you want here? And what would you like me to roll?
You don't need to roll anything to ask him a question.
Right, but I'm asking him as I'm trying to.
Oh, yeah. He's like eternal dominion. And then you pull. Roll strength versus his skill.
Got it. So that, not fantastic, not terrible. I think that's 14.
I think he's got a 12. We're back to my badass bad guys not being able
Wonderful.
to.
I mean,
exactly what you want.
Yep. Can I snap that sword across my? I don't really have a knee, but over my lap.
I think that would be another strength contest.
All right, not worth it then.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna pull it out. You've got it now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're up again.
All right, so here's what I want to do. I am not trained in a sword. I do not know how to use a sword, but I would like to incorporate the edge into a wrestling move. Tell me if this is too far-fetched. So here's the idea. I want to get him in just like a big bear hug, except I've got the blade behind him, and then I want to pull that blade forward towards me and ideally decapitate him.
I will tell you that's a 2-part wrestling move.
That is fine. I'll try to get him in the grapple first.
Okay.
That is 18.
That is an 11. So you've got him grappled, and he cannot move. And you've got his own sword behind him. And end of round. I think just shuffle the things on the left side of that, and you can push them together, but the left side is mainly the thing that needs to be shuffled.
I'm shuffling.
Thank you. I think that should be good because I have no idea where things are at this point.
All right.
And I don't think I flipped this. Carl, would you like to finish off that wrestling move if you can?
I would. Let's give it another shot. I'm good at wrestling, but those are famous last words.
That is a 13.
I've got another 18.
You guys are killing me, literally killing me. Roll your damage just for kicks and grins.
Not great 2, but I'm going to push my luck.
Yeah.
The jump from a 2 to a 4 is pretty big. And I tied my luck, which works, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that brings it to a total of...
Still not a ton of damage. It's 6.
Wait. So you got...
So I rolled a 2. It brings it up to a 4, which is...
Sorry. He had a long sword.
That's right. Oh, in that case, I shouldn't have bothered to roll it because it is the same.
No, it's an 8. It's an 8.
Yeah, but it's actually... Yeah.
It's actually... I rolled a 4. I rolled a natural 2, which my luck then pumped up to a 4.
So in a long sword, that takes it to an 8 damage.
Oh, it's a long sword.
Different.
It's not a regular sword. I see. Excellent. Okay, I'm glad I did that then.
You get about halfway through his neck when it starts to reform around the sword you're holding.
Mm-hmm.
And he whispers it again in a more raspy way. And the sound is almost coming out the sides of the neck where the sword is. It's like, eternal dominion is all I want. And he's going to try to suplex you.
Okay.
It's got a 13.
I have also got a 13.
Do you want to push your luck?
Do I have to push my luck when okay.
Yeah.
I push my luck. See what happens. I could use another low roll. I did not get it. So the tie stands, right?
I believe so. 1 second. 1 second. What page is that stupid tying rule on?
The die stands, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not Apocalypse World where it's you lose, basically. Yeah, no.
That means we exchange damage or nothing.
I've been improvising so long, I'm now forgetting what the official rule is. God damn it.
It doesn't actually mention what happens if it stays a tie. I think it's just nothing happens.
Okay, yeah, I think nothing happens. Yeah,
that's a good result for me. That makes sense. It's a bad result for the person who's attacking.
I just always hate nothing happening.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Anyway. Sorry. I lost my place in the number of windows I have open, and it's Moral. Moral, are you back?
Yeah.
All right, you're up. Logictides. I'm tripping over names.
Right.
Logictides has grabbed the captain out of the sarcophagus, Captain Mateus.
Right.
And looks like they are about to move towards the door. I apologize again for. They're moving towards the door. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm sticking close to them,
All right.
I think we want to get back to the ship.
Okay. I'm going to start moving you guys that way as a cluster then, unless somebody breaks me out of that. Tikadi, I'd like you to roll strength.
All right.
You should be
Under?
Yeah, just under.
No.
Be too hard.
Did not happen.
All right. Yeah, you're having trouble. Like, he's sort of like kind of dead weight in your arms, but he's also half moving, but not in a cooperative sort of way.
Oh.
So it's not like you're dropping him. It's more like you're having to like constantly re-get your grip on him.
Oh, okay.
And Svirgo tries to grab you again. That is a 17.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time doing 1 second.
That's okay.
My mouse is doing odd things. There we go. Okay. 14.
14. Yeah, he pushes you onto the ground and sort of breaks his hold on you, and starts to reach around and pull the sword out of his neck. But it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Where he doesn't he just got out of my hold, right? He didn't.
Yeah, he flipped you over. You were on the ground.
I am on the ground.
And he's pulling his sword back out of his own neck.
All right, I want to throw myself at his legs to pull him down back to the ground with me.
Okay.
And that's another wrestling roll?
Yeah.
19.
He cannot get anywhere near that. Did you get a 12 on the dice?
No, it's a 10.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d6 too.
5, which I don't know. I guess, is that unarmed or mace? I'm not punching him. So
I was just doing unarmed, just for like pulling him down.
Yep. So 2.
Yeah, and he did not get through your armor on that. His attempt to toss you down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ignore the end of round because we got 2 minutes to go. And he's going to, with his sword out, run it up into you.
Mm-hmm. What am I rolling here?
Fist fighting.
15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Man, even if I flubbed and gave him an extra point, he would fail. All right. Do some fist on him.
Pretty good at punching. 3 with my fists is 4. I'm going to push my luck. I failed at that, so it's still a 3. So that is 4 damage. Ignoring armor, whatever that's worth.
All right. He's not looking in good shape. Look, you've got the captain sort of, and he's not an easy patient to carry. So he keeps kind of like twitching and crying out. You've got him at the edge of the temple where you've got the ropes.
All right. Carl? I yell.
You hear a lot of punching and scraping.
Okay, I'm gonna put the captain down and I'm gonna climb up.
Make a strength check.
Strength check. Reroll.
Just to see how quickly you get up there.
All right, I got under my strength.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to like quickly get up there. And you see the captain doing something with Sregor, and Sregor, you see Sregor pull the sword out of his own neck, and then you see Carl punch him hard, but not really doing much damage to this sort of tough scrow vampire.
Okay, I'm gonna swing my glaive at him.
Nice. Swing it.
That's 15.
Damn. We're back to me not being able to roll for my bad guys. Roll your polearm damage.
Reroll. 5, which translates to 12.
Nice.
What do you
Oh,
describe the move to me?
so I'm twirling the glaive around, and if that cuts it in half, then it does that to the middle.
May I suggest that I think what Carl sees is your glaive steadily spring through from behind into his chest, in which he starts to look like he's about to just roar, and then it just fades into mist.
All right. And I tell Carl, Captain's downstairs, pick him up, please.
Okay.
And I think, without getting too many answers, you're going to get safe on your way back to the Rock of Brawl.
Right.
And I hope you guys had fun. If you need to go, I completely understand, but I would love to, once we stop the broadcast, do a stars portion of Stars and Wishes and find out if you feel like you got your wish. And we will kind of count that as our debrief and keep it pretty short.